Hey guys, it's Nicole, and today I have a layout from my April 2015 Super Sketch Club kit. This is one of the three Super Savers where you're using all the same papers and stretching them across three layouts. And these are designed by Scrapbook Generation, and it's like a subscription, or you can purchase overstock kits if you want to. I will post a link below to their store, and I'll post a link below. I think there's like a referral program because when you sign up for an account or a login on their website, you get like reward points and stuff, and then you can use those reward points for money off or free kits and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good deal. So I ended up trimming down all my papers and inking them before I hit record. It was just, I think that takes a lot longer and it's kind of the same thing for all these videos. So I just chose to cut that part out of the videos and just kind of get down to the nitty gritty here. And I've got my instructions and my sample photos off to the side. And this kit was using a line from Jelly Bean Soup. I've already thrown away my branding strips and stuff, so I'm not sure what the name of it was. I want to say it was raspberry something, and there was little raspberries in some of the patterns. Jelly bean soup is typically a manufacturer that I don't usually purchase, and I think it's just one that I kind of forget about. I think there was one coming out recently or in the next month or two that I kind of had, is on my radar. So I do want to go check and see if Scrapbook Generation has that in yet, because I like the fact that they don't do sticker sheets. They do die cut packs, and I think they call them bits and pieces or something like that. And I really like it. Even though you have to add your own adhesive, I like that they're on like a sturdy cardstock, and it's kind of nice to switch it up and do something other than the stickers. And I'm not really changing the sketch and the photos on this one. I think the only thing I might have done is I might have changed a 4x6 to two 3x4s, which is just out of frame, so I'll have to wait until the video skips forward. There you can see the die cut pack, and you get a ton in here, enough to where they didn't design all three layouts where you're using every single little bit and piece. And as I was working on this, I ended up not using a couple, whether I just didn't like them or I didn't feel like they went with it. So I just, put it back in the package, and then I may go back and add a couple at the end. And this page in particular, I added a couple just because of how much room I ended up taking up with my journaling. So that little spring die cut, you're supposed to tuck along the right edge of that photo, but I'm going to hold off until I do my journaling to sort of find a home for that. I ended up journaling more than I typically would, only because these pictures were sort of a more memorable milestone. We were going to an indoor play place, and I had family in town, so we were meeting up with them. And this particular family member is sort of the person that you want to go to when you sort of need to put your big girl panties on and you're just not really ready to do it. We had made the decision that my daughter was going to be done with Binkies. She was at the age where, we needed to just kind of take them away. And I didn't want to do it at home and have to deal with her looking in the garbage for them, or if I, came across one under her crib or tucked away in the kitchen somewhere. I kind of didn't want to have that to fall back on. So since we were meeting up with her, she said, pack up all her Binkies, bring them with us. I'm going to have a surprise for her, and, we'll kind of leave it up to her and see if she wants, to decide to be a big girl today. So we had sat her down and we told her, Sarah's not a baby anymore. You don't need your Binkies anymore. They're for little babies, and you're not a little baby anymore. And she showed her this little lamb, and I can't remember what the pink thing is. And she was like, yep, I'm going to take these. She took the bag of Binkies, threw them in the trash, and she threw them in the trash so fast that I had to pull them back out of the trash to try to get a picture of her throwing them away. And I kind of knew at the time that she wasn't really connecting the dots as far as they were in the trash and they were there for good. She just kind of wanted the new babies that are in her arms right there. And so, of course, we get home and we're getting settled down and it's time to take a nap. And oh my goodness, this child was mad. Very, very, very mad. So we had about 2 days of, screaming, please, please, please for the Binkies. And eventually she kind of just stopped asking about it. And compared to when we took them away from my son, it was kind of nicer because we had made this big deal and we kind of had that memory to fall back on to tell her, don't you remember throwing the Binkies away and you got your new stuffed animals. And of course she would throw the animals on the floor because she, I don't know, she in her mind felt like they were traitors to her or what. But when we took them away from my son, it was a little harder because he would come like check under my legs where I was sitting to see if I had touched them under there and check my pockets, and he'd go point at the kitchen cabinet, make me look, and she knew that they were all in a bag and we had thrown them all away. But she survived, probably has no memory of this. I'm sure she'll look back on these pages and like, okay, yeah, I threw them away. Like, what's the big deal? So during all that, I'm just putting everything down on the page as it shows in the sample. This green tag, I did rotate it so it's going up and down. I just didn't care for the way it was on the sample. I don't know that I would have picked this color green. I just kind of felt like most of the papers were leaning towards the more feminine colors, and then these die cuts kind of had these shocks of these darker colors that just didn't make sense to me. And I had poked a hole in it and just tied some twine on it. Here I had printed journaling strips for a bunch of layouts at once. I decided during this sort of big putting together of these layouts, I was just going to do my journaling like this. It's just easier for me. I know I can type it up and probably cut them out with my Cameo. I honestly kind of enjoy the monotony of this. I just kind of sit there, listen to a TV show or something, and just kind of cut them out and go with it. So I inked them all, glued them all down, and then now here I'm adding some of these little raspberry die cuts. You can see I added a couple underneath the journaling just to kind of fill that in since I had switched it up a little. And I'm just kind of pointing out the things that I had changed a little bit here and there. So here you can see this cluster. I added the little flower and the raspberry. And then here you can see the ones by the picture that I added in all of that journaling. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.